Welcome to a new reading vlog. It is Tuesday, and this is a very important week because Critical Role Campaign 3 premieres this Thursday, and I cannot wait. They released their set tour this morning, and I bawled my eyes out. I'm just so excited, and I'm proud of them, and I'm just like, I cannot wait. I'm so excited, but I still have 2 more sleeps. So in this vlog, I'm going to be attempting to read 2 quite hefty books, some thick boys, if you will. First up is Small Favors. This is Erin A. Craig's second book, and her first book was so good, and it was a perfect mix of like horror and fantasy, and this one is giving me the same vibes. It's also reminding me a ton of the M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village, which is one of my favorites. So I'm really digging the vibe, the aesthetic. It's very creepy so far, very strange. And yeah. And then I was also craving some epic fantasy. And so I picked up Winds of Fate by Mercedes Lackey, which is the first in the Winds of Fate series. And I'm only about 50 pages in, so I'm still getting used to, the magic system and the world and meeting all the characters. It's quite hefty, as you can see. So there's a lot to learn and dive into, but I am really liking what I'm reading so far.
Go ahead and jump into tonight's first episode of Critical Role.
This week has been insane and kind of terrible, but also kind of awesome. It's like there's no in between this week. I'm either having a terrible time or having an amazing time, and it's exhausting. But it is Friday. Pretty excited. First thing, Critical Role Campaign 3 premiered last night. I will not say a word because I know us critters can be really intense about spoilers, but I will say I had a freaking amazing time and I'm so proud of them. I get emotional thinking about it, and it was just everything I wanted, and I can't believe we're starting a new campaign. Wow. 6 years ago. And now it's campaign 3. Just insane. Insane. Today, we carved our pumpkins at work for the annual pumpkin carving contest. So check that out. I'm really happy with how mine turned out. She is a hungry bitch, and she likes to munch on skeletons to clean her teeth after her massive meals of eating humans. And I just love her. A little pumpkin queen. Will it win? Who knows? Might be too gross for corporate, but it's worth a shot. Since it is Friday night, I obviously have big plans like I always do, but I actually do have big plans, to be fair. I read a couple of articles this week about how people manage their TBRs and kind of the science behind keeping books too long on your TBR and having too big of a TBR that is visually too big. And so I wanted to try something different because usually my TBR is 8 stacks of books that are visible to me, like at all times, being like, read me, read me. And it's very intimidating, and it's hard to pick a new book. And I just feel guilt about the books that I haven't gotten to yet. And I'm like, this is too much. So I want to try the 10 book at a time TBR. And that is basically what it sounds like. You keep 10 books on your TBR at all times, and you keep those 10 books visible. So instead of having 8 stacks of 10 books, that is overwhelming and seemingly impossible, if you just have 10 books in a little pile, it seems manageable, and you get more excited, and you're like eager to read through the books and not feel overwhelmed. Obviously, you can change your TBR at any time. You know, if a new book comes out, and you're like, oh, I need to put this to the top of my TBR, great, throw it on the pile. But remove one. And you can just keep adding to it every time you finish a book. So you're constantly rotating these 10 books. So that's what I want to do tonight, is I want to take down my whole TBR situation, pick 10 books, put them on my shelf, and that's what I'll be reading, unless I need to change something out or add something. I'm going to do that now. It's going to take a while, I think, to pick 10 books, but I think I'm going to go with my gut. Also, I wanted to show you my new t-shirt, and this was another thing that was exciting this week. I met Lil Sebastian at the Pawnee Harvest Festival. I've wanted this shirt for so long, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then randomly on Etsy, it was just like, hey, what about this shirt? And I was like, oh my God, and I bought it. So I love Lil Sebastian, R.I.P., bye-bye, Lil Sebastian. May he rest in peace. Up in horsey heaven. Here is the thing. I'm putting this off, but I'm going to go do my TBR now. All right, I did it. That was a little harder than I thought it would be. Okay, so these are my 10 TBR. So we've got a mix of heavy fantasy, some horror, thriller, sequel, and yeah, so we have She Who Rides the Storm and Dark Rise, which are both big epic fantasies. The Death of Jane Lawrence, Chasing the Boogeyman, both new horror releases. All's Well, which is Mona Awad's latest, and that I think is like a thriller-ish. Gideon the Ninth, which is like more of a sci-fi fantasy. The Last Graduate, which is a sequel. Keeper of the Lost Cities, because I've wanted to read this for so freaking long. I'm gonna make it happen. And this is a middle grade fantasy. We have Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and then Plain Bad Heroines. So those two are horror as well. So there's our little, just ignore the Wheel of Time books. I use them as a shelf because they're basically the thickest books I own. So there's the 10 TBR. Okay. Now, we have more books over here, but bear with me. These two I am currently reading. And then these are my weekend Campoween weekend, whatever. I will talk more about these in next week's vlog, because these are specifically for the long Halloween weekend. And there is reading prompts, and these 4 match the 4 reading prompts. So this is specifically for the long weekend. Will I read 4 books? Maybe. I don't know. I've got a pretty busy Halloween, but we'll see. So I did it. And now look at all this freaking space I have. I don't even know what to do. I just stuck a candle in the middle. Put my current read. I don't know. A lot of space. It's pretty awesome. finished Small Favors this morning, and it is definitely a 5 out of 5. It is so good. It's so creepy. Definitely major M. Night Shyamalan Village vibes for sure. But it reminded me a ton of like 70s like folk horror films too. And despite its length, it moves very, very fast. And I love the characters. I loved the drama of it all. And I loved, the reveal of what's really going on. So definitely an outstanding second novel. I think I actually like it better than the first, which is hard because the first was really good. But this was like, whew, she knocked it out of the park. Highly recommend. It is Sunday evening, and so I need to make myself some dinner, do my veggie prep for the week, and that's about it, to be honest. I'm just editing the vlog now, and I realized I've run out of time. So I'm going to wrap up the vlog here. Stay tuned because the next vlog is going to be the Halloween weekend readathon, one-shot campaign, and Halloween party. It's going to be awesome. So I'll see you guys in the next one.